And that's us as human beings. We're not supposed to be calm and relaxed. Animals, yes. Human beings, we got to get up. We got stuff to do. We got stuff that we need to start making happen. And that's something in me that I just noticed is like the norm today. The alcohol brings you down. The marijuana brings you down. The porn brings you down. Everything out here brings you down, calms you, takes all your energy down, just forces you down, so you just want to sit down and just do nothing. And that's not anything at all I want to be a part of in this life. And that's something that is very, very powerful, just saying that, because that's how God speaks to us. He's telling us everything that's bringing us down is things that we should stay away from. We should stay away from fornication because it takes everything from you. We should stay away from the lust of things because it takes everything away from you. It starts to just mellow you out to being just this like body that's just hanging out and it's just around. That's not what we are as human beings. We are extremely highly, just extreme energy. And we have this extreme amount of passions behind us that's just this, it's unlimited. And if you're not seeing that unlimitedness, you're not following the God that I follow. You're not talking to the Jesus that I know. You're not reading the same Bible that I'm reading. Because he shows and he talks stories that are impossible when you think about it. There's so many stories in there that are just impossible. There's no way that a man or a woman could have done that. There's no way. But yet it's done, and it's been done, and it's been recorded, and it's there for us to be able to even research to this day today to see that these things did happen. And that's something is just so incredible. Because someone would say to me, is what I do is this is impossible. What I do, that's not the way to do it. But it's like, have you ever done it? Have you ever been a part of it? Have you ever even been hands-on with it? I don't care what video you saw. I don't care what information you saw from over there. Because like I said, I go watch 1 million dog training videos, which I still do. And none of that stuff works. But the stuff that I do, it works. I sit here and watch my dogs right now, and it works. Everything that I do with them works. Everything, 100%. I still haven't had something that's just iffy. That's just, I don't know. I'm not sure. And that's something that's just very, very interesting to me. It's something that's super interesting to me. So if I'm able to do that with this, imagine what God is able to do with me. Knowing that God's the one in control of me. He's the one that's moving me and maneuvering me and being able to get me to go where it is that I need to go. So that's what I want to listen to. That's what I'm tapped into. That's what I'm super energized with. And man, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. And I was born July 4th of 1986. And I am a 100% dedicated follower of Jesus Christ that walked this planet that is God in the human form, that saved us to be able to not have to worry so much about a little extra background noise out here. But he saved us to the point of being able to recognize and realize who we are as a people. That he's come to us to be able to open us, wake us up, to understand who we are as a people. That the more and more we pray to him, the more and more we understand him, the more and more we get closer and closer to him, the more and more that we are going to start to understand what it is that we're all about, and what it is that we're capable of doing, and where it is that we're going, and what it is that we should be doing, and where it is that we shouldn't be going, and how it is we should be living on this planet, and how it is that we should make sure that we are as a people to represent to other people, to know what it is and what's going on out here. But Jesus is able to liven you up, bring more energy out of you, bring more passions out of you, bring more desire out of you. Jesus isn't here to bring you down. If you calling on the name of Jesus and you feeling like I need to go smoke something and relax and get into this super spiritual thing, that's not who Jesus is. That's not at all. He's here to make sure that we are doing more, and we are understanding who we are with being able to do the more of knowing that we are incredible beings. We are incredible human beings. We are incredible with what we're able to do. And being able to have Jesus to help us, to guide us, to be able to show us and teach us and be able to bring more to us, to have a better understanding of knowing who we are, what we are, is an absolutely incredible thing. Because before, for me, I didn't know. I didn't know what I could do. I didn't know what I was capable of. I didn't know how to be able to do anything, get anything done. I didn't know how to make anything happen. I would just run into a situation and I would just scream and cry and throw fits and act like a 2-year-old kid when things just weren't going right. I didn't know how to do anything. I didn't know how to stay dedicated and focused on something. I would just quit. I would get into something, I would do it for a minute, and I would just quit. It's too much, it's too hard, I don't know how to do it. And I would just fold. I wouldn't do it. Before I had a good understanding of knowing Jesus, I would just yell at people and lash out at people, and they didn't do what I wanted to do. I would just be screaming at them and just enraging at them and just ruthless to them. Before I didn't know how to wake up and just do anything. I would just sleep. I'd sleep till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, wake up and go back to sleep at 5 o'clock. Don't know how that's possible to sleep that much, but I'm telling you, that's something that I was very easily able to do. Before Jesus, I had no idea how to be able to take care of anything around me. Everything around me was destruction, just destructive. Every person that would come to me, just destructive, just terrifyingly out to just destroy and not to try to see anything good in anything. Before Jesus, that's all that was coming to me. Before Jesus, I was not sure and felt confident with my own self, with doing what it is that I'm doing and being who it is that I am and being able to get what it is that I'm able to get. Before Jesus, I couldn't stand here and speak a word to anybody on this camera, on the world, to anywhere about who I am, what I am, and just stand here and just say that I love Jesus. And I'm a big, firm believer that he's real, that everything about it is real. That before I was so, self-conscious. I was so just, if this wasn't perfect, this wasn't perfect, I couldn't present myself. That I just let it all go. Before Jesus, I just didn't know how to speak and say and just stand up for myself. When someone would do something that was just hurting me, literally hurting me and harming me in ways that I'm not even just physically getting hurt, but emotionally getting hurt and just using me, that I couldn't just stand up and say, no, don't do that to me no more. I couldn't do that. I would allow people to just do crazy stuff to me, and I would just accept it. And I would just say, oh, yeah, it's okay. I'll be fine. I'll be all right. Before Jesus, I didn't know how to do that. Before Jesus, I didn't know how to be able to make sure that everything that I'm doing is getting done. That it's getting done, that I can put a plan together and make sure that everything is fulfilled, making sure that everything is well taken care of, making sure that everything out here is still going and cruising. Even though sometimes that I get in this, like, I don't know, something happens that it follows through. It follows through without me having to go into like a rampage and or going into doing something that before Jesus, I will go do some criminal stuff. I will go do something to just take something, to have something, to be able to do what it is that I need to do. And not caring that I'm lying and manipulating and cheating to get it. That I would do that. Before Jesus, I would do that with ease. I wouldn't care. I didn't have a hesitation in me to say, you know what, I know you need it, but I'm going to take it from you. And I'm going to shift up some stuff. Where I'm going to say there was a shift that I changed from I didn't steal physical items. I put a law in me that said I can't do that. Somehow I stuck to that for myself, but yet that didn't mean that I didn't do it in other things. I did it in a lot of other things. I did it in a lot of other things that I would just take. Before him, I would do that. Now, I can't even possibly think of doing that because I know that I'm going to be able to get it and I'm going to be able to have it. And I don't have to worry about trying to take it from somebody else and try to manipulate someone else to be able to get what it is that I need. Before Jesus, I was on a path of just pure destruction. That I was drinking, that I was smoking, that I was just every female out there. Granted, I didn't touch them all, but mentally, everyone, you all know, you were mine. We were together. We had relationships. And then I would just whatever. I don't even want you no more. Because as soon as I knew that I could have you, I don't want you no more. Before Jesus, that was the life that I was living. I was living a life of absolute chaos, of absolute destruction, of going nowhere. And then one day, something just changed in me and said, I got to do something. Something's got to happen. And in reality, it wasn't something that just came upon of like me even wanting in a way. It was in a way kind of forced to me. And that may sound weird because God's not going to force us nothing. But somehow I was in such an absolute downward trajectory of just destruction that I didn't have a choice or I wouldn't be alive today. And then that's something inside of me that just lets me know that God never wants us to harm ourselves. God never wants us to end ourselves. God never wants us to go into that path and into that way of life. He's going to do everything in his power to make sure that that doesn't happen to us. And then when that does happen to somebody, it makes me question a lot about how that person was just rejecting every single thing that was coming to them. Every single person that was coming to them to try to help them to get out of that. They just kept rejecting and rejecting and rejecting. Because that's something that I would question, like, well, God, if you're so powerful, why are people killing themselves? Like, that just doesn't make sense. But it makes perfect sense to me. It makes perfect sense to me today, knowing that he does not want that. And he's going to do, and he's going to bring people, and he's going to do whatever possible to make sure that that doesn't happen. And so for me, something like that happened, that I didn't have a choice. And I saw it, and I just stuck with it, and then I just started praying about it, and I started asking about it. And instantly, that's when the shift started happening. Instantly, that's when things started to be a completely different way of life to me. A completely different way of just having a good understanding of knowing that I don't even need to, say, rely on people to get what I need. Because if I'm relying on the wrong people, I'm going to get the wrong stuff back. And then that's what I was kept on doing. I was relying upon people that wanted to try to damage me, to watch me keep getting lower and lower. I mean, I've had people, and I've had women, and I've had many say straight to my face, I hope you hurt yourself. I hope you end up all by yourself, nobody around. Do you just want to kill yourself? I've had many people say that straight to my face, as close as this camera is. And I can feel their passion, feel their energy saying that to me, that they hope that I die. That's the people that will come to me when I didn't know who I was and what myself was all about. That I would keep bringing those people in, that would just keep bringing me down. And then I would leave it, and then I would feel all bad, and then I would build myself back up again, and then the same one would come back in again. Before Jesus, I didn't know how to get that out of my life. Before Jesus, I would just accept that and just deal with that and just say that's okay. I can make that happen. Because there's a huge just difference today. Because those people, they're still around, they're still there. They still try to get to me. But today, I could just look at you and I could just say, I don't need this. I don't have to deal with this. I don't want to even put another second of my text into this. I'm not going to put anything into it. It's so easy to just let it all be. And that's got nothing to do with reading a book and watching the right video. That's got everything to do with knowing who Jesus is all about. That he's been able to do some incredible things for me in my life. He's been able to allow me to be able to exercise and utilize and gain more skills. More skills that I enjoy doing. More skills that I just like. Give me into a path that everything about the process I enjoy. I enjoy driving, and I've gotten to the point of being able to do that more. I enjoy being able to be around people, to be able to put a smile on your face and to be able to show you something that you've never seen. And I get to do that every single day. I get the chance to be able to have the opportunity to be able to have food, that I don't need to rely on anybody, that I can get and have for my own self and be able to do for my own self. It's absolutely incredible. I've been able to have the skills required to be able to take care of it all. That I don't know how to do this stuff with these animals when I got out here. I didn't know how to get chickens moving. I didn't know how to get cows moving. I didn't know how to do any of that. I didn't know how to make anything happen. But for some reason, I would just get it, and I would get out here and I would get it done. And sometimes things don't look so pretty. And that's kind of the point of life. Everything's not so perfect and paradise and just so awesome. Things aren't so pretty. For me to be able to get to the point of having a good understanding of knowing who Jesus is, it was a horrible, disgusting looking life. It was just extreme chaos, extreme amount of pressure of just such negativity. It was no good to see. And the majority of the reason why majority of my family wants nothing to do with me, because it was chaos. It was just rampage. But then that rampage turned into something, and that pressure came into, and that pressure was able to put an extremely excessive amount of pressure on me from the day that I turned 30 years old in reality. Excessive amount of pressure got put on me of saying, Mark, we got something to do. We got places to go. We got to go here, and we got to get you to be safe. Because what you're doing, you're not safe. You're going to be hurt. And that's the concept of my chickens. It may not look pretty, me getting them to go back home, getting my cows back. It may not look pretty to get them back in. For some of my dogs, if I got to go, I don't have too much issue with dogs. They're pretty intelligent. But the other animals, the pig, he's not where he needs to be. It's going to be some pressure. And sometimes, to the world, it's going to look like excessive pressure. Pressure to the point of, I don't know, I'm not sure. But that excessive pressure to be able to make sure that they're going to be able to live the next day and not get harmed, not have something just come and take them and get them in the middle of the night, it's needed. It's required. There's no other way around it. And that's the concept of how I can say a lot of this stuff with today on how things are changing with the giving dogs all these treats and telling them no is no good and using leash pressure is no good, using pressure is no good. That's all 100% false, because there's always something more interesting than that treat. And that's something that is getting pushed upon us as human beings. And that is such falseness. That's negative. That's no good. That's not right. That's not the way this world works. It's not how it is out here. We're going to have some pressure put upon us to be able to get us to move, to be able to do something great. Because every single time there's going to be something greater. So for me, the greater thing, to try to pressure me to stop this and stop that, it's like, oh, I just go smoke something. That'll be fine. There's always something out there that's going to get you away. And you got to have some sort of different sort of pressure to be able to bring you back in. And to me, that's who Jesus is all about. That's to me what everything is. That one day, at one time, that I was in my house, that I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be around anymore. I'm done. I'm done. I just don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Everything that comes to me wants this anyways, so I just don't care. So every single person wants this. I want this. Let's just do this. But something happened on that day, on that time, that I just sat in that house, this house, out here, all by myself. It was so quiet. It was just, it's quiet out here at night. There's no cars moving. It's just silence. And it's just so quiet. And you're here all by yourself and your thoughts just going. You got no one to be able to say a single word to, because the people that you speak to, that are in your life, that you're speaking to, are going to say to you, you know what, Anthony, just kill yourself. Who cares? You're battling this anyways. Just get it over with. That's the kind of people that were in my life. It's kind of people that I've just been around. Then when I would reach out and they would just say, oh, you'll figure it out. And it's like, well, that's great advice. Like, I appreciate that. Like, thanks for getting me on the right path here. And it's something just drastic happened. It just changed. That just I just had to put a last ditch prayer out. And that last ditch prayer to me is calling upon the name of Jesus. And somehow, some way, that day, that time, I went to sleep. I fell asleep on the floor right there. I was just sitting there. I was crying. I was raging. I was pissed off. I was breaking stuff. I was just running circles. I was just going crazy. But I fell asleep on that floor. And then I woke up and I said, I got to do something. And that's the first day I put this camera on. Not this camera, but my other camera. And I put that on because something in me said, do that. Because that's going to be able to bring you and get you to be able to do something on this planet. That's going to be able to just upgrade you. And you know what's crazy? That night, that day before, I could never have ever made a video of speaking because of how self-conscious I was, because how I was just so shut down, how I was so scared. But yet the next day, not even 12 hours later, after that instance, I was able to do it. And I just said, okay, this looks cool, actually. I like this. This is kind of fun. Instantly that happened to me. Instantly things started changing for me. And since that day, I've been doing it every single day, over and over and over. I have not yet let up. And I've not let up because I know the power of who Jesus is all about, that he's going to bring to me and be able to give me something that's going to be, say, easy for me. That's going to be to bring me what it is that I need to do. And for me, I don't know what it is in me, but it's something that's telling me that now it's not just talking. Now it's time to start showing. Start showing some people some things. Because we all could talk. Because it's something that I've just really, really, really paid close attention to in everything that I watch. You guys are all talking, but you're not actually doing anything. You're just talking. You're talking about, oh, we're going to get some land and we're going to do this, but you don't have it and you're not doing it. You're talking about, I'm going to get this and I'm going to get a chicken, but you don't have it. You don't have anything about it. So it's time for me to start showing more of what reality is. Showing more about how hard it actually is to be able to do some stuff. But you'll get through and get past the hardness of it to realize that it is fun in the end. That you're going to realize that you're going to get tired, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get destroyed, you're going to get cut up, you're going to get bruised. You're going to have days that you're just so physically exhausted and mentally exhausted because of trying to figure this and figure that you're just going to sleep and you're going to wake up and be, man, can I do that sleep again? But yet you're going to be energized because you had such a good sleep to be able to get up to do it again. Everybody's always talking, but do you know what it feels like to pick up 2 50-pound bags of feed and carry it a half mile, a quarter mile somewhere to be able to feed your animals? Do you know what that feels like? That's hard. It's hard work. It's extremely hard work. You know what it feels like when everything is frozen and electric is gone and you got to hand water buckets to your cows knowing that they drink 50 gallons apiece. You got to bring all of that water by barrels, by your hands. Do you know what that feels like? Now, I want to show that because that's real. It's real. So something in me says to show more of what it is that I do, as opposed to just talking about who God is. Because The main thing is I could talk about them all day. I could talk about how great things have changed in my life. I could talk about the happiness that's brought me. I could talk about the peace that he's brought me. I could talk about the high level of compassion that he's brought me. I could talk about all the self-control that he's been able to give me. I could talk about how he's humbled me so much. I could talk about how he just really brought this extreme level of love to me, of real love, of knowing what love is all about. Knowing that love is not all just sunshine and money and candy and praise and presents and anything like that. That love is direction. And it's something that I learned a lot with school, with working with these dogs. And especially all of them today are at a point that I'm just impressed with, because I've understood the concept of what true love is and what it's all about. That I had a test with my May, a real test of, can I bring her back? Can I get her to the point of like being a confident, calm dog again? And it's taken me some time, but I'm talking about you, girl. But I've gotten there because I know what love is. It's not about just sitting down and just petting her all day and saying, it's going to be okay, sweetie, it's going to be okay. No, there's some work that we've got to do. There's some stuff that we got to get done. And that work is not the best for her in the time that she thinks, but it's the best for her for the future of where she's going to go. And that's what I have a good understanding of, knowing who God is to me and what Jesus is to me. That maybe right this second, I don't like it. I don't like how this is. I don't like the way this looks. I don't like the way that I feel broken down and beat down and destroyed. I don't like it. But I do know that if I go through that, I'm going to be able to have something great. I do know that when I was struggling so hard with the 10 Commandments, I'm trying to figure out how to be able to do this. How to get the lust away, how to get the coveting your neighbor away, how to get the stealing away, how to get the honoring your parents away, how to be able to get all that. It was a struggle. It was tough. It was hard. It wasn't fun in the moment. I had to change everything about me, everything about everywhere I would go. It was so hard. But I noticed that in that toughness, and then today, how I look at things, it's just like, oh, that's all. That's good to go. And that's what Jesus has been able to bring to me. He's been able to bring to me some just absolute amaze, just awesomeness, just greatness. But now, not only just that, he's been able to bring me, and guide me to do some things that are absolutely incredible. And I don't want to talk about it no more. I want to show it. So I'm going to be showing way more of what it is that I do, and where it is that I go, and how I do things, and why I do things, and showing some stuff that you're not going to agree with because you don't know anything about it. But if you did do it and you knew and you were a part of it, you would say, man, I like that. That looks really cool. Because I'm not out here being ruthless to anything. I'm not out here being mean to anything. I'm not out here doing anything to try to destroy anything. If something looks like it's mean, it's tough, it's rough, it's because the meaner stuff out there is going to get them. That I got to make sure that I come in to be able to protect, so that the stuff that is actually going to kill them can't come and get them. And that's something that a lot of us don't really think about. We only think what we see in our face, that 5 seconds of, oh, look at that. But you're not thinking about the future, the longevity of what's to come and what's going to happen and how things are going to be. You're not looking at that. That's the power of what Jesus has been able to bring to me. He says, Mark, don't care about right here, right now, man. Make sure that what you're doing right this second is setting you up so that later on things are going to be better. Things are going to be great. But right now, it's going to suck for a little while. It is. It's going to suck. But we're going to move forward, and we're going to move on, and we're going to move into something that's going to be absolutely great. And if you get in your feelings with, I don't know, and then you try to backslide and get away and say, you know what, I don't believe in God and I don't want God, then he's like, man, I had you, man. You were close there. Now he's got to do something to bring you back in again. And that may be bringing that next toxic person back in your life again to just make you rethink reality again. Like, man, I just keep getting these same people. It's like, yeah, because God's saying, I need you over here, as opposed to you just thinking that you know what's best and you're going to go do what's over there. He's going to put that pressure on us. He's going to put that discipline on us, something that everything out here needs, a high level of discipline, knowing what it is that we should do and we shouldn't do, knowing that it's coming from a place of love, a place of trying to gain us, to get us to be in a better place. Because something that I constantly ask for is bring the people to me that are going to be able to help me. Stop bringing the people to me that are trying to destroy me. And then that's where I realized I had epiphany in my own life of realizing, well, Mark, you're the one that's trying to be the idol, trying to bring the people in. So of course the people are going to do what they're doing to you. as opposed to you knowing that you are just the being controlled by God, being used. So if once you understand that, then the people are going to come in to be able to help you on your mission to be able to grow. But as long as you're on the world thinking that you are the creator, you are the boss, you are the maker of it all, you are the person that came up with all the ideas, then yeah, these people are going to come to you. They're going to destroy you. They're going to bring you down to let you know you are not that. You are not capable of that. And you shouldn't even try to think about being that. And that just put a whole lot of thought in me of making sure that I know who it is that I'm following. And then at the same time, what it is that I'm trying to show out to the world. That I'm showing something and I'm going to be about something that I do. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm getting tired of everyone's channels that I see today that's just talking. Y'all talking about building a nation. Y'all talking about getting people together. Y'all talking about getting the animals. Y'all talking about farming. Y'all talking about getting some land. Y'all talking about talking. And I'm not the one. I'm the one that does what he says. And that's the power of who God is. And that's what Jesus really upgraded my life to be able to be about and be able to have today. He upgraded my life to let me know that I don't just have to dream and wish, that I can actually have and do. And have and do is work. It's complications, it's struggles, it's challenges, but it's something that is just so fulfilling. I don't know, I can't put it in words how I feel when I go back there and look at everything that I do. When I go here and just see these chickens, what they do. When every week, clockwork now, I'm hatching out chickens every week. I've got 6 that have now turned into, I've got almost 200. It's incredible because he's showing me that I can do it. I can actually make it happen. And that's the God that I am a part of, that I follow, that I'm a true believer of. That's the Jesus that I know. Not the Jesus that says you could wish and dream and hope. No, the Jesus that says, dude, you could wish and dream and hope and have. I just know that I can have and I can do and I can be about. And that's something for me that's just absolutely, I can't put it in words how sad, happy, joyful, just unbelievable about how my life has been able to transform, all because I have called upon the name of Jesus to be able to help me do what it is I need to do. And I know that a lot of people have no idea. A lot of people are super skeptical. A lot of people are on the, oh, you stupid. A lot of people are, that's the silliest thing in the world. You got some fake imaginary friend and this and this. A lot of people are on that. But I just know for me in my own personal life that this has been able to bring to me something that I've never had in my entire life. Because in reality, just even 8-9 months ago, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here because I was in such amount of pain that nothing was working. The drinking wasn't working. The drugs weren't working. The women weren't working. The exercise wasn't working. Getting more animals wasn't working. Nothing was working. Everything was just bringing me to absolute destruction. Absolute just chaos. And just changing my language up and praying and saying, hey, how I said it, you real. Something's got to happen. Something's got to happen if you real. And if you real, that something happen, I'll follow through with it. And I'm continuing to keep doing that. And I just look out here and I just know that everything is going to be all right. And I've stuck to that regardless of how I felt and I feel and what's going on. I stick to it. Because he said, I just have instructions that tell me to do some stuff. And when I do it, I realize things just move forward for me. Things just different stuff comes to me that it's absolutely incredible. It absolutely is. Things that I have, things that I do, people that I speak to today, everything that goes on in my life is just different. But there's something that happened that I was, you real. And something came to me of, I'm real. I want to show you how real I am. And I want to prove it to you. And that's for me to have my own personal experience, that you need to have your own personal experience. I can't bring Jesus to you. I can't. I could say to you, hey man, this is what he's done for me. This is what he's been able to do for me. I could say that, but I can't bring you to him. I can't say, hey Jesus, come on man, let's go. Meet my friend over here. My friend is hurting and struggling and he needs you. I can't do that for you. I can't. That's kind of a downfall for us as humans, but also at the same time, it's kind of a blessing. It's a beautiful thing because it takes the pressure off of me. It takes all the pressure off of me. It allows me to just be able to live and be able to breathe and be able to do and not have all that of like, why aren't they listening? And then you take that on. No, it's up to you to make the decision. And if you do, let's hang out. And if you don't, just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep making what you make happen. And I'm going to keep on my lane. And I'm not going to not help you, because if you're hungry, I got food. You thirsty? We going to figure out some water. You trying to get some exercise in? We going to get that going. We going to get stuff going. But we're not going to hang out. We're not going to sit down and have conversations. We're not going to do any of that. But I definitely for sure will. I'm always going to help you. And that's something that is required of me, that I don't have a choice. I don't care how much you even try to damage me. I have to help you. I don't have a choice. And that's something that is just an incredible thing to be able to have and be able to be about. That I want you to be able to upgrade your life in a way of being able to have a better understanding of knowing who Jesus is and what he's all about and what he's able to do for you. But don't just listen to what I have to say and, oh, this happened to him, so that could probably happen to me. This happened to that person, that could probably happen to me. No, we are all unique. When you read your Bible, you are going to read something different than I read. Because when I read it, I get to moving. I get a passage and I read a passage and I read a chapter and I read something in it. I get to moving. I get almost rampage moving. I'm like, man, that's what's up. I got to do that. I got to get going. Oh, that's what's up. Then let me rethink some things and let me go on a walk to decompress this, to figure it out, to try to get a good understanding. I get in it. It speaks something to me of Mark. Your energy is maybe a little too low at times, and I'm hard to deal with. I know, because I'm just moving. I'm just cruising. But something in my life that I've always had was trying to bring me down, bring me down, bring me down, bring me down. But that's something today that I just have something that's just way different. That now I'm trying, I'm not trying, I'm getting, and yeah, I'm trying. I'm not perfect. I'm trying to make sure that everything that's ever been able to bring me down is out of my life. And that's really in all those commandments. That when we start following and start to live by, you're going to start to have more energy. You're going to start to have more passion. You're going to start to be able to see through people's crap. You're going to see someone lying to you, and you're just going to look at them right in their face and say, I know, I can see right through you. I can see everything that you're saying to me. You're going to start to be able to have that. You're going to start to be able to experience a real world out here. You're going to start to be able to eat your food and enjoy it, because you're going to realize and recognize where it all came from. You're going to look at it and say, wow, there's 20 ingredients in this. That's so much. Everyone had to do this. This plant had to grow for this long. This plant had to get processed like this. You're going to start listening to music, and you're going to appreciate it so much more, because you're going to know what it takes to make it. It's not just simple, just getting a guitar and just start stringing and start singing. No, there's so much behind it, and you're going to start just embracing it and just being one with it. Everything in this world, they're going to start to experience more and more, because you're going to know everything and what it takes and how it is and everything with everything. You're no longer going to just be alone. You're going to start to be around and be a part of all of it. You're going to start to change everything it is up about where you go and what you do, who you talk to, what music you listen to, what movies you watch. Because you're going to listen to a song, and that song is going to come from hate. It's going to come from rage. It's going to come from just envy and jealousy. And you're just going to reject it. I can't listen to that. You're going to reject it because you can feel the artist behind what's going on with them and who they are and what they're trying to put to the world. You're going to I can't listen to that. You're going to get away from the movies that are just trying to destroy you. Get out of your thoughts. Just sabotage your whole world. You're going to watch it and you're going to, I can't do this. You're going to go to places. You're going to go to a restaurant where you're going to feel the whole vibe of the whole place is just not for you. You're going to go to work and you're going to notice, why am I here? Why am I doing this? I can't do this. And you're going to have no choice but to reject it and trust and say, God, you got me, right? You got me. Bring me somewhere where I can flourish. Bring me somewhere where I can do what it is that I got to do. Bring me somewhere where they're not going to try to sabotage everything that I do. Bring me somewhere where they're going to appreciate what it is that I do. Put me around the people that are going to want to continue to do what it is that I speak and show and tell and be able to help them and guide them. Instead of them saying that I'm stupid and I don't know and I'm not sure and any of that. Get those people out. And you're going to start recognizing that that's going to start happening to you. The more and more that you have a good understanding of knowing who Jesus is, things like that are just going to have no choice but to come to you. And it's just an absolutely beautiful thing. And with that, man, I got to get out of here because there's things that I got to do. It don't even matter if it's raining, the stuff that I have to do, stuff that I got to make happen. And that's the power of knowing who God is and what he's all about. Not even just God, because when you say that, it gets vague where we're not sure. But when you use the name Jesus, that's when things get a little serious, get a little different, because now we know exactly what you're talking about. You say God, you could be thinking of anything. But when you say Jesus, you're saying something very, very specific. You're on a very, very specific guidelines. You're on a very, very specific set of rules. You're on a very, very specific set of people that you're now speaking about. You're not just speaking vaguely. You're 100% in. And that's something for me that I have to make sure that I say that. And I'm all about that, because that's what I truly believe, because it's been able to truly be able to do some things to me in my life that's been absolutely just mind. I can't put it to words. Things that happen to me, things that I see, ideas that I come up with to be able to do, creations that I do today, that I used to build. I used to do all kinds of stuff, but today it's completely different. It's so different. It's like I already know before I even do it. And I don't need to think it up for weeks and months and years. I already know. It's already good to go. When I'm looking for something, I don't need to look far. I could just do a simple search, and there it is. It's right there. For half even what it is that I thought I was going to be. A fourth even. It's absolutely incredible to me. It's something that I want to be able to share with more and more people. That I want to be able to bring Jesus to you and say, hey, here he is, and let y'all chat it up so that you can see the power of who he is. But I can't do that. It's for you to be able to do all on your own self, to be able to say, hey, what's going on? And I don't want you to have to be in the same position that I was in, that I was just so down, that I was to the absolute nothingness point, a worthless human being, a human being that you didn't want to speak to, because he would just have such bad stuff to always say. Oh, life sucks. Life's no good. This ain't happening. This failed. This isn't working. Just a nobody. I don't want you to have to get to that point. I want you to be able to look at yourself right now, doing pretty good, and I want you to just get great. Just do even greater. Be able to have more. Be able to let a lot of your worries go. Put your worries upon Jesus to allow him to be able to work through it, to be able to bring it back to you, and you're good to go. Allow him to be able to do that homework assignment for you, so that you can go ahead and just not have to worry so much, so you can go off and do something that is more fun and exciting for your own self, instead of having to just do busy work for somebody else to try to just keep you low, keep you hurting, keep you destroyed. But he's going to bring you to be able to do something that you enjoy. He's going to give you the time, the patience to be able to do what it is that you need to do. He's going to be able to bring everything around to make sure that you can do what it is that you want to do. And what you want to do, it may be some hard work at first. But when you keep on asking, say, Jesus, I want to do this, but it's kind of challenging for me right now because I'm new to it. Can you help me out? And I'm telling you, and I'm guaranteeing you that he's going to help you out. He's going to be able to give you what you need to be able to do what you need to do, to be able to make sure that your life is not so complicated in a way that you're working so hard for somebody else and not getting anything for yourself. You need to make sure that you good to go, because once you're good to go, you're going to be able to help the next person be good to go. And when that next person is good to go, that's the beauty of what I see of who Jesus is all about. Being able to unite and being able to bring together. That all this division, that is clearly not of God, that is not of Jesus, that is not of loving, that is not of anything. That is of destruction. And that's more and more of what we have today, is destruction. And something in me is just we got to get away from the destruction. And we've got to move towards something that is going to discipline us into the right direction and be able to give us the right ways of being. So life is very interesting. That I lived a very, very long time just not sure and not knowing and who knows and who what's and just very, very confused and doing a lot of very dangerous stuff and allowing very, very dangerous, toxic people into my life. That it almost like transformed me and made me be that. That sometimes when I watch some videos and I'm like, man, they're talking about me. But at the same time, I'm like, how are they talking about me if I'm even watching this? Because the people that they're talking about wouldn't even watch this, wouldn't even try this, wouldn't even consider this as an option, wouldn't even think for a second to even try to work on themselves to be able to get themselves into a better place, because they think that they're good to go. They think they're perfect already. They think that everything is just so magical with them, that they're the one, they're it. And then when they see me, they're just like, hey, man, what's going on with you? You do something that I want, and I'm going to try to take that from you. And if I can't take it from you, I'm going to do what I got to do to be able to make sure that I destroy all of your person so that you can't and won't and don't want to do it anymore. And that's something to me that just Just Jesus has been able to allow me to see the difference of this world, of knowing that there are some people out here that are trying to help, and there are some people out here that are trying to hurt. And unfortunately today, the majority is trying to hurt. And the mass majority, in reality, they don't want to see you get better. And the better that you get, the more that you see that they start hating you even more. And that's something that kind of hurts in reality at first, because the people that you used to hang with, that you get on a path of, I want to do this, they start to destroy you even more. They start to just talk down. They start to laugh at you. They start to make jokes at you. They start to just demean you in ways when you're just like, I don't understand, like, what's going on here. You're on the right path, and just keep asking Jesus for some more assistance. And the more assistance and the more that you keep getting in there, the more that you're going to realize that things are just going to start working out the way that it should. And things are going to stop having to be so rough on the outside. Because now that you're starting to get in line with doing what you need to do, you're going to start to have more energy, more passion, more desire to do. And that's something that I want more people to have. And I want more people to be able to have a good understanding of knowing that you don't need to be in control. You don't need to be the one. You don't need to be the chosen. You don't need to be any of that. You need to be a person that decides, Jesus, can you help me? And be the person to say, hey, I see the help that you're doing, and now I want to spread that help to other people. Thank you.